My goodness, my earring. Why is my earring like this? Let me take it off.
It really wrapped around.
Mass problems. All right, we're streaming. Awesome, thank you. All right. Good morning, everyone. Oh, I know you could do better than that. Good morning. Woo! So welcome to Civic Action Week opening remarks. My name is Shanae Jeffrey, and I have the honor to serve as Assistant Director for the Office of Pitt Serves. And the Office of Pitt Serves, if you did not know, is a student-facing entity for civic experiences here on campus. So before we begin with our formal program, we want to start with a land acknowledgement. So, and this is straight from Pitt Sustainability's land acknowledgement statement. So we recognize that at the University of Pittsburgh occupies the ancestral land of the Adenda culture, Hopewell culture, and Monongahela peoples, who were later joined by refugees of other tribes, driven from their homelands by colonizers. We honor these traditional native inhabitants of this place and uplift their historic, unique, and enduring relationship with this land, which is their ancestral territory. We pay our respects to their elders and their past, present, and future people, community, and culture. While we cannot change the past, we commit to continued gratitude for the gifts of nature, along with ongoing respect, care, and stewardship of the land, of each other, and for future generations. So, with that being said, welcome to the second annual Civic Action Week program, co-led by the Office of Pitt Serves and the Office of Engagement and Community Affairs. This initiative represents a partnership years in the making and emerged out of the COVID-19 pandemic. This year, our theme of dialogue, deliberation, and disruption speaks to the necessity of learning and engaging across lines of social difference in order to advance change efforts that sometimes can be difficult. So here to expand on this is my co-conspirator, Jamie Dukar.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Jamie Dukar, and I serve as the Director of Community Engagement in our Office of Engagement and Community Affairs. The Office of Engagement and Community Affairs, we champion community engagement efforts across the Pitt system. We facilitate strategic community initiatives. We lead our place-based engagements in the city of Pittsburgh through the community engagement centers. We collaborate with the Office of the Provost to support engaged scholarship. We maintain positive relationships with our neighbors and organizations closest to our campus footprint. And we ensure that Pitt is a partner and asset to communities both locally and globally. We're really, really proud of Civic Action Week. And I wanted to bring to your attention, hopefully, to the brochure that you had outside this morning. We'll be sure to get these on the website as well. The ECA teams and the Pitt Serves teams came together over the summer to really think about what our theory of action was going to be as it related to Civic Action Week, but also to the way that we would approach civic engagement and learning for our campus across students, faculty, and staff. What you'll find here is what our time took to really think about what was most important, and that was centering our partners and the communities with which we partner, whether that be a neighborhood, a community coalition, or a concerned citizen. So again, I wanted to just be sure that you all took some time to take a look. We've got our values framework, our action framework, and together we believe that through our collective efforts that we can ensure that communities locally can thrive. I want to also give a shout out to our entire team while we're doing our introductions, because this doesn't happen with just two people. The Office of Engagement and Community Affairs is staffed by myself as director. Our assistant director, Alex Toner, is here. We also have two wonderful fellows here in attendance, Caroline and Evelyn Guerin. And they've been working with us, Evelyn, for over a year, and Caroline just started with us in the fall to really think about ways that we approach all of our community work, both in person and virtually. The Pitt Serves team has also been a really, really great support. So thank you to Christy in the back of the room, also supporting. And I cannot forget Chaz and also Carrie, who I believe is actually getting more folks to join us this morning, but Carrie Finkelstein is also a big part of our shared volunteer management team. There are definitions in here that really speak to the way that our institution is approaching civic learning and engagement, community engagement, and community outreach. Those are all very different things, and there's a spectrum of ways and activities that folks can get involved. During the week, you'll find that there's a space for each of you, depending on your comfort level, knowing that we're still in a pandemic posture, but also that speak to your unique strengths as an individual. So please take some time to look through the civic pathways. There's a lot of different ways in which you can get involved. Now, I'd like to hand this back over to Shanae, because we have an amazing video that our students participated in to talk about the week.
All right, so now that you've heard from us, let's see what our students have to say about Civic Action Week. Get ready.
It's important that they speak up for all these communities who, quite frankly, don't get all the resources that they should have. That is the most important thing that a student can do, is be an advocate for people in the communities like home.
Civic Action Week to me is when we, as a community, come together to foster connections with the residents of Pittsburgh communities. Civic Action to me means what you can do to help the community, engage us around your help as well.
Giving of yourself for the community, for the society.
There's always work that can be done, and there's always ways that we can reach out and help make our community a better place. And any way, shape, or form that can be a part of that, it's just so rewarding and extremely meaningful.
Actually, in college, I came and I was super overwhelmed by all my classes and stuff, but I always felt that I was just focusing on school and then like, my friends, but I didn't really have fulfilling myself. And so I realized that it was something my personal growth and I went out and saw it there to help out.
It meant a lot to me personally to know that it happened with so many people.
The more that I can get a chance to be with different groups of people, I realize that it's more important to be selfless than it is to be selfish. The world is no bigger than yourself.
The students have to be present. You have to go to these communities. You have to meet the people. You have to participate in things that go on in the community. The students in Pitt now are the future. They're the future leaders of the country. And I think they'll have a better insight and a holistic picture of what it's going to take to address the needs of communities like home.
As much as it is growing for myself, it's growing for other people too. And that's really, really important for us to care about those around us and being part.
The Civic Action Week, I hope that will inspire and learn something from it and take it away with them.
Continue to see greater involvement with the student population.
All of us, given a whole year of online learning and given whole circumstances that we can come together and we can do something with the community.
If you're on the fence about signing up, I would say just try it out, do it for the first time, and I promise you won't be disappointed. It's a really awesome experience.
Get out there and meet some new friends.
Take advantage of the opportunity. There's ample opportunity to kind of get involved. I think that's a very rewarding experience. And at the same time, it's going to be people.
Go out of your comfort zone and try it, and trust me, like, you'll love it. It's something you won't experience again. It's something that's unique to the University of Pittsburgh, and it's such a fun time.
so that I can leave college with a degree and also know that I did something actually help people. I love it. I love it.
And thanks to those of you that are here that participated. We really loved how that video turned out. So now we're going to hear from our institutional leadership as they reflect and share with us their remarks on civic action. First up, we have Dr. Clyde Pickett. Dr. Clyde Wilson Pickett serves as University of Pittsburgh's Vice Chancellor for Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, providing leadership for university-wide comprehensive diversity, equity, and inclusion strategy. Dr. Pickett joined Pitt following a national search, having previously served as the Chief Diversity Officer for the Minnesota State Colleges and University System. Prior to serving Minnesota State, Dr. Pickett held positions at several other colleges and universities, including the Community College of Allegheny County in the role of Special Assistant to the President for Diversity and Inclusion, Director of Multicultural Development, Director of New Student Orientation at Ohio Northern University, and roles at Morehead State University and the University of Kentucky. Dr. Pickett holds a doctoral degree from the University of Pittsburgh School of Education and a master's degree from the Morehead State University. He received his undergraduate degree in agricultural economics from the University of Kentucky. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Pickett to the stage.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning. All right. Certainly want to extend greetings to those who are in the room, but also those who are joining us streaming, a part of the virtual reality that is where we find ourselves. I appreciate the introduction. I am Clyde Pickett, and I do serve as the Vice Chancellor and Chief Diversity Officer here at the University of Pittsburgh. As we kick off Civic Engagement Week, certainly want to add my voice to extend appreciation to all of those who organize. So give yourselves a round of applause if you helped provide input, investment, and action as we work to make this week a reality. As we prioritize the opportunity to promote inclusion, as we think about equity, as we think about our efforts to prioritize those things, certainly they can't happen with us having discussion about civic engagement. In preparing for today and having the opportunity to think about engagement in these spaces, I reflected on a great quote by Dr. Martin Luther King. Dr. King reminded us that our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter most to us. So as we prioritize an opportunity to move Civic Engagement Week, as we think about our responsibility to make a difference, and as we prioritize what it means to be inclusive, there's an opportunity for us to queue up today, an opportunity for us to queue up the week ahead, how we can prioritize the things that matter most and how we take action in making a difference. Certainly for each of us, that is different things, whether it's the opportunity to be involved directly in a classroom in terms of making a difference, whether it's the opportunity for us to be directly in our community, serving others and making a difference, whether it's taking the initiative to be involved with the process to vote and the democratic process in this country. Each of those things is a paramount consideration for how we move our action, but more importantly, make a difference. In preparing for today and thinking about how we can make a difference, and specifically how we do so in an inclusive way, it's to prioritize that each of us must do our due diligence to provide appropriate disruption. Each of us must do what we can to promote innovation in that space, and each of us must prioritize how we promote inclusion. I'll begin first with the inclusive part of this piece and how each of us must be challenged, charged, and take the opportunity to prioritize that. In the work that we do as part of the Office for Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, we prioritize that there has to be an equity-focused ethos in all of our initiatives. The idea that the end goal to prioritize investment for all stakeholders, optimal outcome for all stakeholders, is a part of that conversation. But certainly none of that can take place unless we have outreach, unless we have partnership, and unless we have connection with others. So our challenge as we begin this week, our challenge as we think about what it means to be civically engaged begins with our opportunity to build relationship and to build connection with others. So as you think about the time to queue up this week, as you think about the opportunity to make a difference, take the opportunity to reach out to others and invite others to be a part of this week. Certainly, as part of this call to action this morning, as my opportunity to engage you, I want to challenge each of you to reach out to 3 individuals, 3 people that you will call upon, that you will reach out to, and that you will connect with to join us as we move our civic engagement week forward. 3 new voices, 3 new individuals that you can connect with and make a difference. Also, as part of that inclusion, as part of our service, as part of our opportunity to make a difference, there is a chance not only to reach out to 3 individuals that you connect with, but to challenge yourself. How do you engage and build relationship with others to make a difference? Part of our way to build innovation is to connect with others who have innovative ideas, new ideas, if you will, to help us make progress and make change. Before I had the opportunity to come and to serve here at the University of Pittsburgh, I had the opportunity, as was noted, to live and work in the community in Minnesota. I was there following the killing of George Floyd and had an opportunity to participate with folks of all walks of life as we took to the streets to prioritize what it means to take action to disrupt and to make a difference for change. That was a transformational experience. What was most transformational is the opportunity, or was the opportunity, and it continues to build relationship and connection with folks of all different walks of life, folks who had a different race than me, folks who had a different socioeconomic background, but all were committed to the common cause of disrupting for the purpose of making change. As we think about that, and as we prioritize our call to action, as we think about the opportunity for how we make innovative changes for change, innovative opportunities to make progress, it starts with each of us building those relationships, each of us prioritizing that inclusion, that sense of connection, ultimately to make a difference, to impact all. As we think about the opportunity to make those changes, and as we think about the opportunity to make progress in our week, and more importantly, in the time ahead, there's an opportunity for us to think about how we educate ourselves. While we want you to prioritize civic engagement, while we prioritize the opportunity to make a difference, we have to understand that, especially as an institution of higher education, that begins with education and how we continue to read, how we continue to learn, and how do we continue to inculcate ourselves with a greater understanding of how to make that difference and what informs that difference. It has been stated that all leaders must read. The question is, what are you reading and what are you helping to take in to inform what makes the difference? I challenge each of you, in addition to making that connection, dig further, use the resources that we've provided, our colleagues have provided, because I quite candidly didn't provide anything, but an opportunity for us to further educate ourselves, to make a difference, and to seek space for better educating ourselves. The last thing, as I leave and as we continue to build and prioritize an opportunity for exchange, is to make certain that each of us has an opportunity to measure what we do. It's been stated that the ultimate measure of who we are as individuals, the ultimate impact that we have as a community, is not what we do for ourselves, but what we do to impact the lives of others. And so you have an opportunity today as we begin this week. You have an opportunity to set the foundation for how we can make progress in the future. And you have an opportunity ultimately to continue to build that as we think about progress for each other. So I challenge you, as I close my brief remarks today, to continue to promote dialogue, the opportunity for us to use the chance to build relationships with others, the opportunity for us to prioritize that in an inclusive way so that we connect with folks certainly that are in our sphere of connection, but also to build connection with those who are outside it, and an opportunity for us to continue to educate and to further build understanding for how we make progress in the road ahead. Certainly, I want to be there with you. I'm excited about all this week will hold and how it will be the foundation for us taking an opportunity to make a difference for others and ultimately making a better difference for our community that extends beyond our university walls. I look forward to it, and I challenge you, and I wish you well. Hail to Pitt.
Right. Next up, we have Dr. Carla Pandela. I am so excited for this. So Dr. Carla Pandela has served as the Dean of Students since August 2021. Reporting to the Vice Provost of Student Affairs, the Dean of Students is a visible and engaged advocate with and for all students on the Pittsburgh campus of the University of Pittsburgh. The Dean assists the Vice Provost in the leadership and administration of the Division of Student Affairs. The Dean provides leadership for innovative co-curricular programs, activities, and services that promote student well-being, sense of belonging, engagement, and diverse learning experiences. The Dean is also responsible for the strategic direction and management of the Office of the Dean of Students, Student Care and Outreach, the Offices of Residential Life, Student Life, New Student Programs, Pitt Serves, and Cross-Cultural Leadership Development, which includes fraternity and sorority life. So let's hear it for Dr. Carla Pandela.
Good morning. Good morning. I know it's hard to see me, but I'm here. Hello, Pitt community, and good morning to you. Thank you for the introduction, Shanae, and thank you for all those who have coordinated this wonderful week, the teams that have come together to create a week-long series of events. Pretty amazing work. I'm excited to welcome all of you to the Pitt's second annual Civic Action Week. Civic Action Week is a reimagination and expansion of what used to be Pitt Make a Difference Day and Day of Caring into a full week of opportunities and activities to further serve our community. Throughout this week, we will focus on forming intentional connections to communities, organizations, and mission-oriented work that align with the new Civic Pathways initiatives. Service and civic engagement are about sharing our energies and expertise with others. And in return, we are enriched by and learn from the communities we serve. Pitt has a long and remarkable history of serving our larger community and the many unique neighborhoods that make up Pittsburgh. At Pitt, we are sharing a commitment to realizing an equitable and just world where everyone has the opportunity to achieve their full potential, to live in a healthy environment, and to feel a sense of belonging. Every volunteer has unique talents and abilities to contribute, and every act of service is valuable. From supporting local K-12 education to working to achieve health equity, there are many ways your service will positively impact the Pittsburgh community. When we align our efforts together, small steps add up to transformational change. I want to take a moment to discuss the theme of this year's Civic Action Week: dialogue, deliberation, and disruption. Dialogue is a crucial step in enacting greater change. Serving the community begins with communication between friends, family, peers, neighbors, mentors, and faculty. These conversations help us to better understand the issues at hand, and they help us define our shared values of racial justice, accountability, and cultural humility. But dialogue does not always mean that everyone will agree. In fact, productive dialogue often includes disagreement. And disagreement is an opportunity to observe different viewpoints and listen to new ideas. Dialogue is a learning process. Being open to different opinions is necessary so we can formulate the best solutions. The second part of this week's theme is deliberation. Deliberation is slow and careful consideration or thoughtful weight of your opinions and your options about what action to take. Positive change requires careful, deliberate, and intentional action. Volunteering at a community garden or using your social media account as a platform to speak up about an issue that concerns you, for example, are steps you can take to intentionally affect change within your community and lift up community assets and bright spots. Finally, it is important to ask ourselves if the status quo is truly working in the best interest of all people. Our common goal is to create a community where everyone thrives, and achieving this goal requires us to be curious. We can ask, is this working? Are our actions achieving our goals? If what we are doing isn't working, then it may be time to take action to disrupt structures that pose unfair barriers for others based on their race, gender, religion, ethnicity, or sexuality. Ways to disrupt the status quo can include everything from encouraging others to register to vote, as we heard earlier, to participate in peaceful protest, or even joining clubs on Pitt's campus that interest you. Dialogue, deliberation, and disruption are three vital tools for remaining engaged, involved, and in service to others. I encourage you to take advantage of the opportunities during this week to get involved with community service at Pitt. I want to thank Chaz for the work that he has done over his time, and he will be greatly missed for sure. I've only known him for a short period of time, and really grateful to him and his service to the Pitt community for sure. So I just wanted to take a moment to do that as well. Thank you for the service that you will provide this week and beyond. Hail to Pitt.
All right, thank you so much for those remarks. Another round of applause for Dr. Pandela, and welcome to Pitt. So last but not least, I get to introduce Dr. Lena Dostillo, our fearless ECA leader. Dr. Dostillo sets and advances the University of Pittsburgh's community engagement agenda and catalyzes community-facing efforts across the university, including our PACE-based engagement efforts, engaged scholarship, strategic partnership development, and community affairs. Lena is a faculty member within the Department of Foundations, Organization, and Policy in our School of Education, and her research explores the community engagement professional in higher education and hyperlocal place-based engagement. Lena currently serves on the Council of Experts for the NSF-funded Center for Advancing Research Impact. She's the co-chair of the Chancellor's Anchor Initiative Task Force, and she's a board member for the Program to Aid Citizen Enterprise and an advisory board member for the Forbes Funds. Lena was previously a research fellow with the Coalition for Urban and Metropolitan Universities, a visiting scholar with Campus Compact, and board chair of IRSlice, because I'm not going to say that whole thing. Please welcome to the stage, Dr. Lena Dostillo.
Oh, good morning. So today, all of you here and all of you joining virtually form the next wave of the Pitt community who put their heads, their hearts, and hands to work, collaborating with community-based partners to make the region a place of thriving and a place where we realize the dream of equitable community. Civic Action Week is a call to action, a call to learn about the issues that trouble our collective well-being and to advocate for avenues of change. A call to volunteer our time standing shoulder to shoulder with our neighbors, and a call to recommit ourselves and Pitt to be an asset and partner to communities throughout the region. As a public, state-related university, Pitt embraces its role in partnering to strengthen communities. Through the dedication of our faculty, staff, students, and collaborators, we roll up our sleeves and do the hard work of building the future together. Civic Action Week provides an on-ramp for many to the multitude of ways we engage in our communities. It is an intensive opportunity to get to know the value and institutional commitment Pitt has for being a community-engaged institution. This ethic is spelled out in our mission statement, our strategic plan, and through the efforts of offices such as Pitt Serves and the Office of Engagement and Community Affairs. Civic Action Week is a week that has something for everyone. As Dr. Pickett said, educating ourselves, building relationships, prioritizing equity, disrupting on behalf of change, and as Dean Pandela said, taking small steps that lead to transformational change and pursuing productive dialogue. And so I hope that you will all dive into the many opportunities awaiting you, opening your hearts, your minds, rolling up your sleeves, and putting your hands to the hard work as you join Pitt's legacy of commitment and care. And to that, I invite you, let's jump into Civic Action Week together and build our futures. Thanks.
So thank you, Doctors Pickett, Pandela, and Dostillo. Can we give it another round of applause? We truly cannot do this work without your support here at the Institution of Pittsburgh. So for our last speaker, I am so excited because I've known this person, this young woman, since she was a sophomore. They grew up so fast. Since she was a sophomore in the Pittsburgh's office as a tutor for America Reads Challenge. So what this person has done has led our student arm of Civic Action Week. She has been our fearless leader in many aspects of recruitment, outreach, to ensuring that throughout the entire week, we have student representation. She has been the voice of reason, the voice of calm, and I just really admire her dedication and hard work. So without further ado, Ms. Garima Patel.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Shanae, for the kind words. As she said, my name is Garima Patel, and I'm on the Signature Days of Service Committee, serving as the Community Partner Liaison for Civic Action Week 2021. The Signature Days of Service Committee is a group of students who works together to put Civic Action Week together, and we are a group of 11 students. But a little bit more about myself. I am a senior, and as she mentioned, I've been working with Pitt Serves for quite some time. I joined the America Reads Challenge as a freshman and then decided to join the Signature Days of Service Committee to help plan service events on campus. And again, I've seen myself grow so much over the last 4 years, just due to the various experiences that Pitt Serves has provided for me. When I was in high school, I would serve, I would do volunteer hours, very superficially just for the hours for the resume boost, things like that. And even coming into Pitt, I still kind of had that mindset. But going through the various trainings and sessions, I was able to really look deeper into myself, learn more about civic engagement, and truly learn the importance of how we should come together to serve. I really urge everyone to take advantage of the events happening this week, and look deep into yourselves as well. Really try to learn and engage civically through the events we have happening. We have various speakers coming in to talk about different topics ranging from human rights to sustainability, things like that. So you can choose what interests you, choose something you want to learn more about. We have registration open until 2 days before each event, so you have plenty of time to sign up. We also have DIY projects and collection drives happening throughout the week that you can register for at any time. And so again, I really urge you guys to sign up for these events because we put a lot of work into presenting these opportunities for everyone. So we want everyone to take advantage of them. So the last thing we have is thank yous for everyone. Thank you to everyone who came today to support the opening of Civic Action Week. I'd like to call a few people up onto the stage. The Signature Days of Service Committee. We have Jeremy, Jade, and Sam from the from the Office of Pitt Serves. We have Shanae and Christy. And then from ECA, we have Alex, Caroline, Evelyn, Carrie, and Jamie. So again, thank you to everyone for making this week happen. And as the student leader for Civic Action Week, I now declare Civic Action Week 2021 open.
Thank you, everyone. Please, as you see these folks, give them a high five, a shout out. They worked really hard to get this all together. We could not have done this without them. Thank you so much for spending this morning with us. Please have some more breakfast. We hope that you'll join us today. We have 2 sessions happening. Our data center session, what's it called? Western PA Regional Data Center. It's a mouthful. That will be happening today in the Kurtzman Room. And this evening from 4 to 6, we'll have our community keynote. So you'll get to hear from various community representatives and their relationship to our theme. So we'll have representatives from One Hood Media, Trans Uniting, and also Neighborhood Allies. So I hope that you'll join us then. Thank you and have a great rest of your day. Welcome to Civic Action Week. Taking a picture. I don't know. You should just like